This is the Berwick stitch. It's also known as a looped edge stitch. If you want guidelines, you can have two of them. It will work though anywhere that you would put a blanket stitch. So if you don't need a guide for a blanket stitch, you probably don't need a guide for this. We're going to come up on the line that's going to be solid, and it's going to have knots on that line. So it would be this one. If you can't see it on the camera, never mind. We're going to come up on this line. We're going to move over just a little bit on the opposite line, just like if we were making a blanket stitch. Go down on that line, back up on the line where we started. In this case, it's the top line. Our thread is under the needle, our working thread, and we're going to wrap it up and over the needle and back under again, so we get one loop on the needle. And pull up, and you're going to want to tighten that knot however much you want it tightened before you move on to the next stitch. We're going to go back down on the bottom line or the opposite line, come back up on the top line, working thread is under the needle, wrap it up and over and pull through. So again, down on the opposite line, come back up on the other line, working thread is under the needle, wrap the thread up and over the needle so we get one loop around the needle, pull up and tighten the knot however tight you want it before you move on. So back down, come up, working threads under the needle, wrap around once before we pull through. Pull through and adjust that knot however tight you want it. Now I can work it just by twisting it around the other way, so whichever way you're more comfortable working it. Except for I would usually be working the other direction, but that's okay. I just want to show you that the loop will only work one way. So I want my working thread under the needle. I'm going to wrap up and around and pull through. So I'm going back to this way. And again, now, if I tried to bring my thread, which I'm not going to be able to do, working this way, if I have to bring it under the needle first. So if I try to go the other way, it doesn't work. So if I have it under the needle and I tried to wrap it around this way, it pulls it out from under the needle. So it's under the needle, wrap it around, pull through. Down on the bottom line, up on the top, wrap it around and pull through. You just keep going however long you want that stitch to be, your line, and it will work very well on curves as well. Under the needle, wrap it up and over, pull through. When you have it how long you want it to be, you're just going to take your needle down on the long straight line to the back and finish off. So I did say this, you could work this with the knots on the bottom as you were working, so let me just show you. I still work from left to right, so I just come up on the bottom line, down on the top, working thread under the needle, wrap up and over. So it's exactly the same thing, I just reversed whether it's on the top or the bottom. Down on the top thread, up on the bottom thread, under working thread under the needle, wrap up and over. Down on the top line, up on the bottom, working thread under the needle, then wrap it up and over. Down on the top line, up on the bottom, working thread under the needle, then up and over. Pull your thread through and just continue on to finish your line. And you can vary the height of the legs. That's what I have done here.